The two things that our model is really trying to figure out on your behalf is how fast-acting or long-lasting is the media, right? Some of these things happen to a consumer, and a day goes by and they've completely forgotten that it happened. Other things have a much kind of longer decay or a longer effect, and so that's the speed is one, and the second is the kind of the amplitude of the effect. The worst case scenario is you pour a whole bunch of marketing into the system and the cash register rings at the same rate. Of course, the opposite's what we're looking for. We pour a little bit of marketing in and sales go crazy. And that's really our job, to go measure that and do it in a way that's transparent.
And get under the hood is, for us, it's every catalog drop in the path, to the customer. It's every email. It's every digital impression. It's every remarketing impression. It's every targeted display impression. And that's a big data endeavor for sure. What has come to pass is that there's a lot of non-addressable media that that's very important. The social media where privacy is an issue. So those are active problems for us.
And we're excited to engage on them. A lot of the data that we're seeing coming out of the social networks, there's rules on how the lowest level aggregation that they'll provide, and it means that they've kind of turned their really rich addressable media into somewhat non-addressable media. It helps to have a company that has algorithms that can handle both.
If you have a attribution solution that eventually takes every sale and gives all the credit to some kind of marketing, that might sound good because it sounds like you've solved a big problem, right? You've figured out how that email interacted with that paid search click, and did that other thing really matter, and how about that clienteling call, and so on. But not all sales are driven by marketing. So if you started out and you add up to 100, but you don't have a portion for this, that accounts for seasonality, that accounts for the presence of stores, that accounts for the customer's own habit. You better know what you can't take credit for.
First time we shared these numbers with your CMO, I was a little bit apprehensive. I thought, here I am telling a lifelong chief marketing officer that he wasn't 100% of the reason why the sales were coming into the cash register, and I thought I might get chased out of the room with a pitchfork. He's a very intuitive, down-to-earth person, and when we were able to flip it the other way and say, this implies that if you were to shut marketing off cold turkey, 25, this is not the real number, but let's use this number for today, 25% of your sales would evaporate. He totally got it.
If you have 4 channels and 50 marketing programs and you deliver that monthly, right, that's 5,000 numbers. You better be able to tie some of those numbers down to the ground, and every proof point you can find is a moment to, even if it doesn't line up exactly, to put it out there.
Our recommendation for testing control is use it to validate the model. So we're not requiring it to build a model. The model's built on observational data, but use that test and control background or DNA to go make sure this model is in touch with reality.